You've seen it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That smooth, slightly plastic look. The lighting that's technically correct but feels like it came from nowhere. The person who looks real but somehow isn't. That's AI generated content, and everyone can spot it instantly. Here's the problem. Most people assume that's just what AI images look like, that there's some invisible ceiling on quality and you're stuck under it. There isn't. The images that fool you, the ones you can't tell are AI, they came from the same tools you're already using. ChatGPT, Midjourney, Ideogram. The difference isn't the tool, it's what went into the prompt. When you type 3 words, you get an average. An average looks fake. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why that happens, fix your prompts across 3 real scenarios, and then show you which tools produce the most realistic output and how to get the best out of each one. By the end of this, you'll have copy-paste prompts that actually work, and you'll never look at an AI image the same way again. Let's get into it. You've seen
People
it.
type 3 words into an AI image tool and wonder why the result looks fake. A woman smiling. Coffee shop photo. City at night. And what comes back looks like a stock photo that got caught in a microwave. Plastic skin. Weird lighting. Everything slightly wrong in a way you can't quite explain, but immediately feel. Here's the thing. That's not the tool failing. That's the prompt failing. AI image tools are not search engines. You don't describe what you want. You describe what a photographer, a director, a lighting technician, and a post-production editor would each bring to a shoot. When you type 3 words, you are telling the AI almost nothing. It fills in the rest with the most average version of that image it has ever seen. And average is exactly what looks fake. The reason AI images look like AI images is not some invisible watermark or telltale artifact. It's that they look like no one made a decision. Real photography has a point of view, a focal length, a time of day, a specific kind of light, a mood that was chosen, not averaged. When all of that is missing, your brain knows. It doesn't know why it knows. It just knows. This video is about changing that. We're going to start with what you're doing wrong. Then we're going to fix your prompts. 3 levels, from beginner to professional, using real examples you can copy right now. Then we're going to look at which tools actually produce realistic output and how to get the best from each one. Let's start with ChatGPT, because that's where most people start. ChatGPT's image generation, currently powered by a model called GPT Image 1, has gotten genuinely good. It handles text inside images better than almost anything else. It follows complex instructions well, and it's right there inside a tool most people already use every day, which makes it the easiest starting point. But it has a ceiling. The images it produces tend to have a particular look: clean, slightly soft, somewhat commercial. For product mock-ups, social media graphics, and illustrated content, it's excellent. For photorealistic output, images that look like they were taken with a camera, it starts to show limits. We'll come back to that. First, let's talk about what a good prompt actually looks like. There are 5 things a professional photographer decides before pressing the shutter: subject, environment, light, mood, camera. When you leave any of these out of an AI prompt, the tool averages it. And average looks fake. Here's what I mean. Let's use the same scenario 3 times and watch what changes. Scenario: a person in a coffee shop. Beginner prompt. This is what most people type. A woman in a coffee shop. What you get? A generic smiling woman at a generic table under flat overhead lighting, looking at nothing. It reads as AI immediately because there are no decisions in it. The tool has no information to work with, so it defaults to the most common version of that scene it has ever processed. Intermediate prompt. Same scene, more information. A young woman sitting alone at a wooden table in a cozy coffee shop, holding a coffee cup. Warm lighting. Candid shot. Better. You've added environment detail, a prop, a lighting direction, and a style note. The result will feel more specific, but it still has gaps. You haven't told it the focal length, the time of day, the specific quality of the light, or the emotional tone of the image. You've described a scene. You haven't directed a photograph. Professional prompt. This is what actually produces realistic output. Candid portrait of a woman in her late 20s sitting alone at a worn wooden table in an independent coffee shop. Morning light coming through large windows to camera left. Golden hour warmth. Shallow depth of field. Background slightly out of focus. Steam rising from ceramic mug. 85mm lens. Natural expression. Not looking at camera. Film grain. Muted warm tones. Shot on Sony A7 III. Same scene. Same subject. Completely different image. You've told it the lens. The direction of the light. The time of day. The camera. The grain. The color treatment. The emotional register. Every one of those details removes an average and replaces it with a decision. That's what realistic looks like. The 5-part framework in plain terms. Who or what, where specifically, what the light is doing, what the mood or feeling is, and what camera or lens would capture it. Use all 5 every time. Let's run the same 3-level approach with 2 more scenarios. Scenario: a product on a clean background. This is one of the most common use cases. Someone wants a product photo without hiring a photographer. Beginner prompt: a perfume bottle on a white background. What you get is essentially a stock photo. Flat. No character. Looks generated. Intermediate prompt: a luxury perfume bottle on a white surface. Studio lighting, product photography, cleaner. But still averaged. Studio lighting means nothing specific to the model. It fills it in generically. Professional prompt: luxury glass perfume bottle centered on a seamless white surface. Single softbox light source from upper left casting a soft shadow to the right. Subtle lens flare. Light refracting through the glass. 100mm macro lens. Minimal negative space. High-end commercial product photography. Ultra sharp. 8K. Now you have a product shot that could run in a magazine. You specified the light source position, the shadow direction, the way the light interacts with the material, the lens, the style reference. Each one of those is a decision that eliminates average. Scenario: urban street scene. Beginner prompt: a city street at night. Generic. Could be any city, any decade, any weather. Intermediate prompt: a rainy city street at night with neon reflections on the wet pavement. Much better. You've added weather, time, and a visual element with the reflections. But still no camera. No specific city feel. No mood. Professional prompt: rainy night street in a dense urban neighborhood. Neon signs reflecting in puddles on dark asphalt. One figure with an umbrella walking away from camera in the distance. Low fog, 35mm lens, slightly underexposed. Cinematic color grade, deep blues and warm oranges. Film noir atmosphere, Blade Runner visual tone. A reference like Blade Runner visual tone is legitimate technique. It gives the model a massive amount of visual information in 3 words. Directors, cinematographers, color palettes, lighting choices, all embedded in a phrase. Use cultural references when they carry real visual specificity. Now, back to ChatGPT. If you're using it for product mockups, illustrated content, or anything that needs precise text inside the image, it's excellent. But for photorealistic images, portraits, street scenes, product shots that need to pass as camera captured, it has limits. The output tends to look like commercial illustration even when you're asking for photography. It's a great starting point and the easiest tool to use. For the ceiling, you need different tools. 3 tools that produce genuinely realistic output when you give them the right prompts. Midjourney. Still the benchmark for photorealistic image generation. The version 6 model handles light, skin texture, environmental detail, and depth of field better than anything else available right now. The trade-off is that you access it through Discord, which is less convenient than a standalone app. But if realistic output is the goal, this is where the ceiling is highest. Use the professional prompts we covered. Midjourney rewards specificity more than any other tool. Add --R16 to 9 for landscape, --R9 to 16 for vertical, and --style raw if you want less stylized output and more photographic realism. Ideogram. Best in class for text inside images, logos, signage, labels, anything where words need to appear accurately inside the generated image. It's also excellent for product and lifestyle shots. The interface is clean and web-based, which makes it more accessible than Midjourney. If you need something that mixes realistic imagery with readable text, Ideogram is the first place I'd go. Kling. This is where we move from images to video. If you've ever generated an AI video and watched the subject melt or the movement look physically wrong, Kling version 1.6 is the biggest step change I've seen. It handles realistic human movement better than Runway or Pika at equivalent settings. The same prompting principles apply: subject, environment, light, mood, camera. For video, you add motion direction. Camera slowly pushing in. Subject walks toward camera. Handheld feel. Kling also accepts a reference image as input, which means you can generate a still in Midjourney and then animate it in Kling. That combination is what professional AI content production looks like right now. Here's the honest summary. ChatGPT images are the easiest starting point. Midjourney is where photorealistic stills live. Ideogram is the choice when text accuracy matters. Kling is the best option for realistic video. But the tool is not the variable that matters most. The prompt is. A professional prompt in ChatGPT beats a beginner prompt in Midjourney every time. Start with the 5-part framework: subject, environment, light, mood, camera. Give the model decisions instead of descriptions. That's the difference between AI art that looks like AI and AI art that doesn't. The full prompt templates for all 3 scenarios, copy-paste ready, are on my channel.